Foogiano's return to the streets lit the internet on fire the second he stepped out of federal custody.
Foogiano's home. Foogiano, when he signed the 1017, he signed the 1017 because he signed to Gucci Mane.
But almost immediately, another story started spreading even faster. Word moving through Atlanta and Memphis circles is that the relationship between Foogiano and 1017 may already be cracking apart, and people close to the situation claim Gucci Mane is not taking it lightly at all. What was supposed to be a triumphant homecoming suddenly started feeling tense, awkward, and strangely distant.
Oh yeah, that artist just got released.
Foogiano back home.
Bro, he came home at the wrong time.
And once you really look at the timeline, the silence becomes impossible to ignore. So what actually happened? To understand why everybody's paying attention right now, you gotta understand the world Foogiano walked back into after doing 5 straight years behind the wall. Foogiano, born Kwame Khalil Brown, officially touched back down around April 21st, 2026. There was no giant press release, no dramatic label rollout, no glossy welcome home campaign. The streets found out the old school way, through the people around him. Producers Spiffo Made It quietly posted a selfie beside Foo on Instagram story with the caption, "No more free Foo." Around the same time, Foogiano's photographer uploaded his own message saying, "Stay free, welcome home, Foo." That was it.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to make this announcement on 1017 yesterday, but I just seen like my statement, my P&L with all my artists.
Guap kept rolling.
And it's a whole show in the industry right now, but when I'm looking at my P&L and me being a businessman, I think that I'm gonna have to release almost all my artists, except for Pooh Shiesty and Foogiano.
No interviews, no label statement, just a couple quick posts from people who stayed loyal while he was gone. But that was enough. Within hours, the blogs grabbed it, repost pages started exploding, and the whole internet realized Foogiano was finally free. The footage circulating online painted a picture people weren't expecting. Foo looked slimmer, calmer, older in the eyes. He was smiling hard, grills shining, soaking in fresh air after years of concrete walls and prison routines. You could tell the freedom meant something real to him. He wasn't acting like a rapper returning from a vacation. He looked like somebody who genuinely survived something mentally exhausting.
See, I signed with Atlanta first.
Okay.
I already had agreed to sign with them when I was in them. And then, I took probably 2 steps out the door and Gucci called. I'm right here. We agreed to sign, everybody shake hand, hug. Me and Boom walking out the door. I probably get to your feet.
That prison sentence traces all the way back to late 2020. The downfall happened fast. One minute, he was one of the hottest young artists in the South, standing next to Gucci Mane with diamond chains around his neck. The next minute, he was facing probation violations and federal attention. In December 2020, deputies in Barrow County pulled him over and discovered a loaded Glock 19 equipped with a Viridian laser. Because Foogiano was already a convicted felon tied to a prior burglary case, the weapon alone violated his probation.
He said, "Man, I want you." "Oh, you ain't gotta talk no more. Let's get with Boom. Let's get this together. I'm 1017. Come on, man. This is Gucci. Who gonna say no?" This how I always felt like a label was. They like that. Like, the same label don't even talk. We like family. No cap, I'm the only one that, all of them moving Georgia, I guess, but I'm the only one that was, that I'm from Georgia.
At first, it looked manageable. He posted a $50,000 bond. Authorities strapped an ankle monitor on him and ordered him to remain in Georgia. But then, everything spiraled. Days later, the monitor was allegedly found melted off and abandoned near a roadside. Foogiano disappeared completely. For almost 3 months, he stayed ghost. The U.S. Marshals finally tracked him down in Memphis during March of 2021 and brought him back to Georgia.
This is a decision I didn't want to make. I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? I can keep all of them under the contract. Let's just make the unselfish decision and, let them take their talents elsewhere.
He eventually accepted a plea deal and got sentenced to 5 years in May 2021. And he served it, every single day of it. That matters because a lot of artists talk tough until prison time becomes reality. Fooh actually sat down and disappeared from the music industry for half a decade while the rap game kept moving without him. By the time he came home in 2026, everything around him had changed. And maybe the biggest change of all was 1017 itself.
His first show past weekend put him in a situation where the people were calling him a rat when he performed. This is a totally different Gucci Mane than Foogiano ever met.
Back when Foogiano signed to Gucci Mane in 2020, 1017 was one of the hottest labels in hip-hop. Gucci had rebuilt the entire brand around a new generation. The movement felt unstoppable. Pooh Shiesty, Big Scarr, Foogiano, Enchanting, Hot Boy Wes, the new 1017 wave looked like the future of Southern rap.
I don't know if, before you went in, did this man in the hole messing with you? Because it's easy to say, okay, I just got out of prison, the man didn't take care of me while I was in there. Yeah.
Gucci was personally introducing these artists to the world like proud family members. He was putting chains on necks, posting everybody constantly, pushing compilations, launching tours, creating viral moments every week. And Foogiano was right in the center of it. What made Foo's signing different was how personal it felt. Before 1017, he was just an independent artist out of Greensboro, Georgia, a tiny town most people outside the South never even heard of. But he had momentum. Molly Baby Mama was ringing off in clubs and parking lots across the region. Labels started circling fast. According to Fooh himself, Atlantic Records was already prepared to sign him outright.
Yep. If it comes out, that wasn't the case. Yep. And all the money was made back, everything was good. Mm-hmm. And your heart is, you have a black heart. You in there, you made the decision, and I'm not your partner. That's a tough love. Yeah. When you have made a person think that is love.
Then Gucci Mane called personally. That phone call changed everything. Foogiano later explained how shocked he was seeing Gucci's face pop up on the screen. Gucci told him directly he wanted him for 1017. That conversation closed the deal immediately. Fooh signed with 1017 and Atlantic in 2020, reportedly attached to a deal worth millions in advances and back-end opportunities, though exact paperwork never surfaced publicly. At the time, it felt like a dream situation. Gucci wasn't just offering paperwork, he was offering mentorship, visibility, cosigns, and street credibility all at once. The chemistry between them looked genuine. Interviews from that era showed Foogiano talking about the label like a family. Gucci was positioned like the OG guiding the next generation. Then, everything collapsed.
If this comes out, if Foogiano goes on the record and saying this same type of behavior from Gucci, and then what Pooh saying the same thing, and we know what he did, which was dead wrong, I still stand on that.
Because while Fooh sat in prison, the new 1017 era slowly turned tragic. Big Scarr died from an overdose in December 2022 at only 22 years old. Enchanting passed away in June 2024 after a reported overdose situation of her own. Hot Boy Wes ended up facing a lengthy prison sentence. Multiple artists got quietly removed from the label. Others publicly complained about mismanagement and internal issues. What once looked like rap's most exciting new movement slowly started resembling one of the darkest label runs in recent memory. Then Gucci himself shook the industry in October 2024 when he announced he was cutting almost everybody from 1017. Almost everybody. Except two names, Pooh Shiesty and Foogiano.
I think if the business is right and the paper's tight, he's gonna go back. Money talks and BS is in the Olympics. Listen, if the money is right, or if he feel like he got his own motion now that he's home, and he feel like Gucci's a snitch, then he's out.
That detail is important because Gucci specifically chose those two as the future of the label, while both were incarcerated. He basically told the world those were still his cornerstone artists. So naturally, everybody expected Gucci to be front and center once Foogiano finally came home. But that never happened. No welcome home post, no reunion video, no 1017 family message, nothing. And that silence became even louder because Gucci handled Pooh Shiesty's release completely differently. When Pooh returned home previously, Gucci publicly celebrated him online, showed visible support, and made sure everybody saw the connection was still active. With Foogiano, there's been absolutely none of that energy publicly visible.
If I was,
That's a hard position.
if I was Foogiano, like I said, I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna take whatever bread that this got because he's desperate. I'm his only artist. you feel me? So he gotta put money behind me.
Man, low-key really need you right now more than he did before. He might put all his money and resources into you right now.
You said take advantage of that, run it up real quick.
And then be like, you Gucci.
Do
That's
like
what
do my little 5 albums and get the book.
And people noticed immediately. One small detail especially stood out to fans: the vehicle Foogiano came home in. Viral clips showed him leaning out the window of a modest Cadillac utility truck, surrounded by close friends and family. No luxury convoy, no label-branded rollout, no Maybachs waiting outside prison gates, no giant security teams, just regular people welcoming him back home quietly. That visual said more than words ever could. Back in 2020, Foogiano's life looked flashy and corporate. Chain ceremonies, tour buses, professional promo shoots, big label energy. But this release felt stripped down and personal, almost like somebody rebuilding life from scratch instead of returning to rap superstardom. And then the timing got even crazier. Because while Foogiano was trying to restart his career, the entire 1017 situation around Pooh Shiesty reportedly exploded into federal chaos.
This time is not how it used to be. Foogiano is somebody, but they go fast. People don't give a about tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't really coming out with some that's going to catch everybody else.
Prosecutors allege a January 2026 meeting at a Dallas recording studio turned into an armed confrontation connected to efforts to get Pooh released from his 1017 contract. Court filings reportedly identify RD, allegedly Radrick Davis, Gucci himself, as the owner of the label involved in the paperwork dispute. Federal authorities claim firearms were used, people were threatened, valuables were taken, and victims were forced into signing documents. By April 2026, kidnapping and conspiracy charges reportedly landed on multiple defendants connected to the situation, including Pooh Shiesty and several associates. That backdrop makes Gucci's silence around Foogiano feel even stranger. Because now people are asking questions nobody expected a few years ago. Is Foogiano trying to distance himself from the label quietly before things get worse? Is Gucci frustrated because another major artist relationship is crumbling publicly? Or is everybody simply moving carefully behind the scenes while legal situations play out? Right now, nobody outside those rooms truly knows.
She's going to be in his ear about, baby, our reputation, our business, and certain things need to be protected.
Technically, Foogiano is still signed to 1017 on paper. No official split has been announced, no contract termination has surfaced publicly, but the energy feels different, cold, distant, like two sides that once looked inseparable now barely even acknowledge each other. And honestly, that may be the saddest part of the whole story, because in 2020, Gucci Mane looked at Foogiano like the future. Now in 2026, after prison, death, overdoses, federal cases, label purges, and years of chaos, Foo came home to a completely different reality than the one he left behind. The situation turned nuclear once the federal details started leaking out publicly. According to prosecutors, the maximum penalty hanging over the case is life in federal prison.
She held Gucci down while he was behind it. So she has a different advantage.
Life. Not a short bid, not a slap on the wrist, the kind of charge package that can erase a person from the rap game permanently. And right in the middle of all that chaos, Gucci Mane decided to jump into the conversation himself. Around April 10th, 2026, Guwop dropped a Zaytoven-produced diss track called Crash Dummy. The timing alone sent shockwaves through the culture because everybody immediately connected the record to Pooh Shiesty and the federal allegations surrounding the Dallas studio situation. But it wasn't just sneak disses or vague bars. Gucci sounded direct, cold, and personal. One line hit especially hard. "I thought it was a business meeting, but it was a setup." Then he followed it with another shot that really changed the entire conversation. "Tell the truth, you went out like a real crash dummy. And after all that, boy, you still signed to me." that last bar carried weight way beyond rap. Because Gucci wasn't just dissing Pooh, he was publicly declaring the contract still stood, regardless of whatever paperwork prosecutors claim got signed under pressure during that alleged armed confrontation. In other words, Guap was telling the world, you can threaten people, force signatures, pull guns, do whatever you want, but legally, you still belong to 1017. That's the exact environment Foogiano just walked back into. Think about it for a second. The label only has 2 retained artists left publicly attached to it. One is sitting in federal custody facing charges serious enough to potentially end his freedom forever. The other one, Foogiano, just came home after losing 5 years of his life to prison. And the boss of the label is online dropping diss tracks while federal paperwork floods the blogs. That's not a normal comeback situation. That's chaos. But the real tension around Gucci right now goes even deeper than the Pooh Shiesty case itself. There's another cloud hanging over Gucci's name, the rat conversation that's spreading across podcasts, live streams, barbershops, Twitter spaces, and YouTube breakdowns. Street's been debating non-stop whether Gucci crossed a line by allegedly cooperating with federal investigators during the fallout of the Dallas studio situation. Critics are pointing directly at the federal complaint. Their argument is simple. If prosecutors are building a federal case around statements, interviews, or cooperation connected to Gucci and the label dispute, then the street image around him changes automatically. The same man once worshipped as the embodiment of trap culture is now being discussed in the same breath as federal cooperation and courtroom paperwork. And for hip-hop culture, that's a massive image shift. The Gucci Mane of 2008 was almost mythological. The street survivor, the trap icon, the guy whose reputation was built on raw authenticity, chaos, and surviving impossible situations. But the Gucci Mane standing in 2026 looks very different publicly. Older, corporate, business-minded, surrounded by contracts, legal teams, federal complaints, and public disputes with artists he once mentored. Some people see that evolution as betrayal. Others see it as maturity. And that divide is exactly why the Foogiano silence feels so strategic. Because from another perspective, Gucci's behavior makes complete business sense. Several OG commentators from the South, including voices connected to ghetto mafia conversations online, argued that fans are looking at the situation emotionally, while labels look at it financially. Their point was brutal, but logical. If a label fronts an artist millions of dollars in advances, marketing, chains, videos, studio budgets, and tour support, and the artist catches a major case before recouping the investment, the label already lost money. From that perspective, some people argue Gucci doesn't owe endless prison support on top of an already damaged business deal. That's the cold corporate angle. And once you understand that mindset, a lot of the whispers surrounding Foogiano start sounding more believable. For months, rumors circulated online claiming Gucci allegedly wasn't putting commissary money or additional financial support on Foo's books during his prison sentence. None of that has been officially confirmed publicly by either side, but the rumors kept spreading because similar complaints were coming from other corners connected to the new 1017 era. Former artists and affiliates hinted at broken communication, lack of support, and relationships going cold once legal problems entered the picture. Then you add the Big Scarr controversy into the mix. After Scarr passed away in 2022, social media exploded with allegations involving chains, jewelry, funeral support, and disagreements between Gucci's camp and people connected to Scarr's family. Some claims were denied, others stayed murky, but the damage to Gucci's public image was already happening in real time. Fair or unfair, the internet started building a larger narrative around him, one where the family image of the new 1017 slowly transformed into something more transactional and distant. Put all that together, the commissary rumors, the artist complaints, the label purge in 2024, the federal paperwork, the crash dummy diss, the alleged cooperation accusations, the silence around Foogiano's release, and suddenly the entire atmosphere around 1017 feels completely different than it did back in those flashy 2020 chain ceremony videos. That's why people keep reading into the silence so heavily. Because Gucci once publicly said things like, "I see myself in these young artists, and if I don't help them, who will?" He positioned himself as a mentor, a protector, a big homie trying to guide the next generation away from mistakes he made himself.
Now, one retained artist is fighting federal life charges. The other came home after 5 years and didn't even get a welcome home post. That contrast is impossible to ignore. And that's where the real question starts. What does Foogiano actually do next? Because right now, Foo is standing at one of the strangest crossroads imaginable. Technically, the contract still exists. On paper, he's still a 1017 artist. No release paperwork has surfaced. No official split has been announced. But emotionally and publicly, the relationship looks ice cold. So there are basically two paths sitting in front of him. The first path is the aggressive exit route, the same lane people believe Pooh Shiesty allegedly attempted. Refuse the paperwork, try forcing your way out, make it hostile. But after the federal fallout surrounding that Dallas situation, nobody views that option as realistic anymore. The consequences attached to that route now look terrifying. Which leaves the second option, the business play. Run the contract out, drop the albums, collect the money, rebuild the buzz, then leave clean at the end. A lot of commentators believe that's exactly what Foogiano should do. And honestly, from a strategic perspective, it makes sense. Because despite all the drama surrounding 1017, Foo suddenly has leverage he never had before. Look at the situation carefully. Gucci only kept 2 artists. One is locked up fighting a massive federal case. The other is Foogiano. That means Foo is now the only active artist capable of recording, performing, touring, dropping music, and generating revenue for the label publicly. In a weird way, the balance of power shifted while he was gone. Some people online are even arguing Gucci needs Foogiano more right now than Foogiano needs Gucci. That's a crazy reversal, considering how things looked in 2020. But even then, the comeback still isn't simple. The rap game changed completely during Foo's prison sentence. Attention spans got shorter, algorithms move faster, new rappers blow up every single week. 5 years away from the spotlight in modern hip-hop feels almost like disappearing for an entire generation. That's why going fully independent immediately would be risky too. Yes, independence sounds powerful online, but rebuilding momentum from scratch without label marketing, playlist relationships, industry connections, or financial backing is extremely difficult for somebody fresh out after a long sentence. Then there's Greensboro, Georgia, the hometown factor. Foo carries real weight there. To many people back home, he's the artist who made it out, the one who put their city on the map. That pressure changes everything, because now every move impacts not just his career, but his legacy too. And somewhere in the middle of all this sits the smartest option of all, the buyout. Negotiate a clean exit. Keep the publishing. Leave without war. Move forward independently afterward. That's probably what a serious manager would be pushing behind closed doors right now, if both sides still have any respect left for each other. Then there's another layer people keep bringing up online, Keyshia Ka'oir. Commentators have repeatedly pointed towards Gucci's wife as one of the strongest strategic voices around him. The argument many people make is that Keyshia pushes Gucci towards reputation protection moves, business-first decisions, and minimizing unnecessary risk. If that's true, then her influence could play a major role in how the Foogiano situation develops moving forward. Maybe that means keeping things strictly business. Maybe that means quietly negotiating a release. Maybe that means maintaining distance publicly while still honoring contracts privately. Nobody really knows.